Why not 2027? The previous section talked about how Chinese political groups are willing to give Xi Jinping 20 years to carry out reunification. That period expires in November 2027. So why does Yi Qichuan think that the time for reunification will be 2026 and not 2027? This is limited by China's political cycle. This is because the credit for Taiwan's reunification needs time to translate into political gains. Does longer preparation guarantee a greater chance of success? Not really. First, if the unification operation is launched in 2027, even if it is led or dominated by Xi Jinping, he will not be able to fully translate this historical credit into political gains for himself and his family. Second, if Xi Jinping fails to deliver on his political promises by November 2027, his power empire will be in danger of collapse. Not only that, but the hardline policies he has pursued over the past 2 decades will come back to haunt him. The concessions made by other political factions in China during those 2 decades will come back to haunt him. All the support the Chinese have given him under the banner of morality will turn into a force against him. All these counterattacks will not necessarily be inflicted on Xi Jinping alone. There is even a possibility. That is, his family, his wife's family, his mother's family will all be implicated and liquidated. So they will have to pay a heavy price. In China's political operating procedures, major political arrangements take at least 10 months. This is a fact. If Xi Jinping wants to take all the credit for Taiwan's reunification and turn it fully into a political gain, he will have to complete the various steps of reunification by January 2027. These include the military occupation, the post-occupation governor system, the suppression of the early post-unification rebellion, the rewarding of the political families that have done the most to support the reunification process, and the consolation and rewarding of all other political families according to their merits. Only after completing this series of political measures can Xi Jinping submit his list of names for the 21st Central Committee. Only then will he be able to successfully control the composition of the 21st Central Committee. Only then will he be able to further strengthen and maintain his political empire. He could even be re-elected for another term and perhaps continue to be a king without a crown prince. With his political credit for the reunification of Taiwan, Xi Jinping will become a god whose historical achievements surpass those of Chairman Mao. He will become the historical hero of all Chinese people in the future. In the future, there will be a new way of speaking in Chinese history books. It will be a Qin Emperor, Han Wu, Tangzong Shi Da. What does this mean? It means that Xi's lineage will be protected for hundreds, if not thousands, of years to come. But if the Americans decide to back down voluntarily, it could allow Xi to make a political miscalculation. A political concession by the United States could allow Xi to delay reunification for a while. Everyone is naturally afraid of pressure. If Xi Jinping chooses to delay the reunification issue because of some external temptation, it will pose a huge risk to him and his family. This risk can be divided into acute risk and chronic risk. The acute risk is the rapid emergence of a backlash against Xi Jinping. Xi's political clique will quickly disintegrate. A typical scenario would be a complete blockade of the list of central authorities proposed by Xi in January 2027. Xi would quickly, or at least gradually, lose control of the political scene. The chronic risk is that Xi Jinping will share power with some powerful political families in a series of political compromises. The political compromise could lead Xi Jinping to lose his exclusive credit for the reunification of Taiwan. Not only is he not essentially responsible for the reunification of Taiwan, but he will inevitably be marginalized when the credit is shared in the future. Because those who come later naturally have a greater voice on the stage of history. Such an outcome would not be sufficient to ensure the stability of Xi's political clique, let alone the long-term interests of Xi's family. The risks of delaying reunification. The risks of delaying reunification will manifest themselves on 3 main levels. The first is the side effects of Xi's actions. The second is the destabilization of China's political order. The third level is the loss of the long-term protection for Xi's family that his family rightly deserves.